two bros talking shit.
All right, if the government put you in charge of getting rid of homelessness, what would you do? And you got to come up with an answer.
Do I have a budget?
I mean, as much as America does, we're already in debt, so.
So just any number?
Yeah. What would you do?
So, firstly, I would have representatives go out in the homeless field and find out who is willing to get clean, right, before any kind of force is necessary. Then find out who's willing to, we're going to tell them we'll provide them housing and medical assistance, rehabilitation procedures, anything like that. Let them get their documents, IDs, stuff they need for, to be functional in society. And then anybody that's not willing to do that is going to be taken by force, is going to be, arrested or, detained to go through those procedures, whether willing or not. Because if you need to clean up the streets, you need to clean up the streets. You know what I mean? Like, or you could do like a Skid Row type factor and give them a designated area and just like, hey, if you don't want to work and you don't want to contribute to society, you get this portion of land and you can't depend on the government services. You can't be depending on other people. Other people can help you. That's up to them. You know what I mean? The individual or individual entity, group, whatever, can help these people, and that's fine. And I think we should, to an extent, like the people who are disabled. If you're able-bodied and there's nothing wrong with you and you're just not willing to work, then you really don't deserve much, like, at all, right? Like, I think everybody around the world can agree with that. If you're able-bodied, there's no medical condition, no disability, no mental disability, no nothing like that. Nothing stopping you. You just completely just being a tantrum child about it. I don't want to work. I don't like the system, and I'm not going to force myself to work. Then, you don't get nothing. But other than that, it would be a forced program. We'd get the volunteers first. Hopefully everybody, we get the majority of people that volunteer. We don't want to arrest anybody if we don't have to. But if they refuse, they're either going to, this encampment style area. You can call it that if you want. It's just an excluded zone, sort of like unincorporated, so it just won't have the amenities of the government. The law will still apply to them. They will still have to abide by the law because they're not just going to be lawless citizens, right? But they're not going to get the assistance of the government. They're not going to depend on the taxpayer. And then anybody who needs medical assistance goes to medical housing. Endless budget. So all of that is very doable. We don't have that endless budget, and
they definitely have the money to do all that.
Well,
they can give them LA.
We don't have the allocated funds. We do have the funds.
Just give them fucking LA.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in LA are going to disagree with you, but yeah.
Well, I mean, they're moving out already anyways.
I think there's a lot of options you could take towards getting a clean
The problem is, and the reason they're not doing something like that or anything of that nature is because these, like, fucking businesses or whatever that are funded by the government and taxpayers have incentives to keep homelessness out because they get to use that money and get paid to do it, to go fuck with them, and they're not even doing anything for them.
A lot of these businesses, though, these privately owned businesses, hate homelessness because they get these encampments near their business and it drives business down.
Well, yeah, normal business owners, sure. I'm sure they don't like fucking homeless, but I'm talking about, like, charity, like, people that are supposed to be helping with the problem of homelessness have incentive to keep homelessness alive.
Yeah, because they just keep the money.
Yeah, they have a job. If they cured homelessness, they wouldn't have a job no more. They wouldn't have a business.
I mean, it's the same thing, but, like, right, if you're genuinely trying to apply, a way that you want to eliminate homelessness, you would have to start at the root. You would have to go out there, have people on the foot, that are risking their lives, essentially, to talk with these people and find out who's willing to get off the street with that help.
Well, I think they're able to do that. Why aren't they doing that?
That's a good question.
Because they're making fucking money. They get to get taxes for it and shit from the taxpayers.
There are, like, of course, we have, like, homeless shelters and different programs and stuff that can help these people, and then you have individuals that are out there.
I agree with your idea. Like, get them all help that need mental help and drug help or whatever, and the ones that don't, put them in one spot and let them live their life the way they want to live. It won't last long.
Right. You have, like, a few. There's not many options, but you do have a few, and they're solid options. You know what I mean? Like, if you just completely say, hey, I'm not willing to contribute to society, then why are we willing to let you take a part of it? I'm not gonna let you sit here and begrudging these people with hey, give me $5, give me $10. You know, you got $1 spare change.
Yeah, they need a permanent help, not a temporary fix to their habit or solution or whatever.
If
or
they're able-bodied, let them go out in nature. Give them a piece of land where they can forage. And
like I said, L.A., they're already halfway there.
Yeah,
I mean, there's other places too. Well, San Francisco, I think, cleaned up their act. They don't have as much homelessness anymore. You can drop them off in Atlanta. Give them Atlanta. Well, that's where our airport is, though. We can't really give them Atlanta.
They have a big portion of Atlanta already.
Yeah, but that is nothing compared. If you see the videos of LA.
Yeah, Skid Row, dude, is like I said, they built retail centers around Skid Row to kind of keep them in their own like area.
Yeah, this was like a planned thing, I think, by the government.
It was. I mean, it wasn't planned to make them homeless. It was just
to get the homeless in one location.
Yeah, if they decided to live that way, they're going to live that way amongst each other and not amongst everybody else.
But now people are coming to Skid Row just to live that life too, like from different countries, states and shit. Not countries, probably countries.
Mexico, I mean, hey, if that's what makes you happy, you know, whatever. But again, I'm not going to be the one that's giving the money out of my pocket directly.
I think there's plenty of options. They just ignore them for the money.
Yeah, exactly. They like the handout. They like the living the free lifestyle, you know?
Well, I didn't mean for the government, but yeah, them too. The ones that can't be fixed anyways. A lot of them are just mental illness, so it's
just sad.
That's a big part of it, and that's the worst part of it, I guess. Because, yeah, you got the homeless that just fuck their own life up and just don't want to try. And then you got the ones that had no chance at all.
Right.
Those are the ones we obviously want to save, but the government does a shit job at that. I think it's getting worse for sure, everywhere.
Homelessness?
Yeah. All these buildings are popping up, data centers are pushing people out.
Well, a lot of the homelessness in, you know, reality comes down, and I'm talking about homelessness as a decision instead of rather a, you know, victim of your circumstance type.
Yeah, instead of a tragedy.
You know, like if you're, or, you know, housing price, if it's too expensive in your area and you're living out of your car, that's very different than somebody who's choosing to live on the street, right? That I don't want to mix those up. And homelessness.
And there's a lot of those because, like, I see people down there at like Walmart. The same people been there for years. There ain't no way all that money they're handing out, and you ain't done something with your life.
Yeah, see, that's different too.
Unless it's mental health, and
I'm talking about like the people who still hold a job, they maintain a job, or are willing to work, right? If they can find a job, they might not have a job right that second, but they're definitely looking or doing, you know, Uber Eats or whatever.
I think it's rare to see a trying person homeless.
Right.
It's either mental health or lack of trying.
That's what I'm saying. If you're trying and you're like in a housing cost situation or something, that's not really homeless to me. Homeless to me is a decision. It's like whether it's a mental...
What do you call that then? What would you call that? Like the people that, you know, broke their back and can't work anywhere or something like that, that got lost everything and you just can't work? Or the person that has...
I would think there would be terms in front of the word homeless, like, is it forced homeless? Is it medical homeless?
So we should call the ones that want to be that hobo and them homeless.
Something like that. Just call them a bum. You know, I think that's where the word bum comes from, is the people who want to bum money. They want to bum a cigarette. They want to bum a drink.
Back. Cut. Stay close to your mic.
No.
We had some technical difficulties.
No,
and we're back. We were talking about what were we on?
Homeless.
But where were we at?
Different types of homelessness. If you're
that's right. Yeah.
Medically homeless.
So what would you call the ones that were?
It just depends on what they are. You call them what they are.
So we'll do hobo and homelessness.
Bum.
That's what we got.
Bum or hobo for the ones that want to be bum and
Bum's
hobos.
a good one.
Yeah, bum is a good one. Yeah, because it's like an insult.
Yeah.
And they're fucking bum, bro.
Add insult to injury.
Yeah. Hobo is like train traveler, subway traveler. Like, I feel like, because a hobo travels.
Yeah, hobo's the train guys.
Yeah, train / you know, modern style now. There's one that's like traveling, like nomad style kind of.
Yeah,
it's a hobo.
No, it's terrible though, and they're not doing anything to fix it.
Well, again, that.
And the people that are just doing it for the incentive, not to really fix it.
So you would get a lot of backlash from phase 2 of that plan. Is the force of it is like, hey, okay, you decided that you didn't want this help that we offered. Now you don't get a choice. Now we're going to decide what help you need. We're going to go evaluate you in a jail-like area. It's going to be a containment area.
Round them all up.
We're going to find out your name, your profile, if you wanted, what kind of diseases you have, what kind of medications you need, anything like that.
And then sort you as such.
Yeah, right. And then the only way you get released back into society is when you complete this program and you're a functioning member of, some type of, or you go to, option 3 or whatever, to the exclusion zone.
Yeah, give them their own spot.
Unincorporated, because you don't want to kill nobody for.
Just giving them an island would be the right,
You just want to get the violence, the uncertainty, the unease for the people who are contributing members of society.
Yeah, it's mainly about the drugs too, all them fentanyl zombies.
Yeah, stuff like that. Getting the drugs out away from the people offering it to kids who don't know any better, and instincts tell them drugs
kids
are cool.
Being in it, that's just fucking terrible. Like,
yeah.
So a lot of them drug into this for no reason.
You give them the help they need. You offer that. You do everything you can for the people who are willing to take it, and then the ones that aren't. There's two other options. Well, either way, you're going to get through. I would go through and vet everybody. We're going to find out who you are.
Yeah.
We're getting murderers, criminals, drug dealers, illegals, not immigrants, illegals.
Illegal immigrants.
Yes, not just right. Immigrants are fine. I love immigrants.
Well, if you're homeless and an immigrant, you're probably not here legally.
And illegal in the term of if you're a criminal escaping your country, not criminal as you came here illegally. I don't give a fuck about that. But if you're like a murderer, and
that's
you came
not
for
for me
country,
to judge.
Yeah, right? I don't care if you cross the border. Like that's
everybody crosses the
whatever,
border.
Dude. Yeah, like that's how we got here originally.
We crossed somebody else's border.
Yeah. Right? Like that's fine, dude. But if you're fleeing your country from a crime and coming here, that's not cool.
But I'm not grouping them in as like illegals coming over. I'm grouping them in as homelessness. The homelessness needs to stop. So
right. And criminals, illegal or not, but being illegal, an illegal criminal, you're going to get deported. Yeah. You're going to go back to the country and face your crimes. That's the whole point. Or be homeless
there.
It's not that we don't want you here. We want you here on the right terms.
What do you think AI's choice would be whenever it's in charge?
What do you mean?
Like for homelessness, what do you think AI is going to do once it's in charge?
Kind of the same thing I'm thinking of.
Probably give them a spot.
Yeah.
I would imagine either that or encampment.
Like I said, there's only a few options you have with them, but they're humane options, and they're like you're trying to be as nice as you can without just going. What's your other option? You're gonna go beat them up?
The other option is keep them homeless and maintain them by herding them around in different spots and making them go different places with these businesses opening, and then keep doing that because you're making money off of it from the government, which is paid by the taxpayers. And you're living a happy life while they're miserable and they're being herded around like sheep from one area to another because you kick them out.
That's what's happening now.
Yeah. That's the only other option. You either do it the right way or you do it the wrong way. Yeah, you help them or you make money off of them.
Well, I think...
Because if you leave them alone, they're just going to spread really bad. they're going to like...
Okay,
everywhere.
Listen. I think a big solution in solving homelessness, though, is... reducing the drug problem is what they're fighting against. That's one thing, because when people lose their mind or their...
Oh, yeah, the cartel thrive on the homelessness.
That, and then another one is reducing housing costs, right? We need to reduce housing costs.
I don't think you can reduce it enough for some people, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Because,
for the ones that you can help.
There
are some people that can't afford now $1,000 of rent for the cheapest house. Compared to when it used to be $200 to $300.
And then you go and you're talking about these people you're trying to get off the street who might not have the best backgrounds, right? And then they're not going to get the best paying job necessarily. They're going to get
Social Security pays shit.
Probably a lower paying job, most likely. It's going to be an entry level job somewhere. That's not going to pay them very much. They're not going to be able to afford where the housing cost is getting at, and that's not going to enable them to become a member of society that.
If you ain't making 30 plus an hour or salary, whatever you're doing, you're not going to be able to make it comfortably in life. Not even a little bit.
You're going to need help, or you're going to need some
multiple
type of
sources. Yeah,
some type of like low cost housing.
Yeah, there is like
and
affordable housing projects, stuff like that.
For Georgia, it's like Section 8.
Yeah, Section 8. That's a lot of places, I think. I think it's all over the United States.
Then you have like the SNAP program for EBT, food stamps, welfare, stuff like that, Social Security. You do have limited options, but again, the majority, I feel, this is just my take, I feel the majority of these people, maybe not the majority, but a lot of these people don't want to get out of that style of life. It's not necessarily saying they don't want help, just they don't want to have to live like we do. Like, they don't want to have to get up and go to work every day. They don't want to have to
brush their teeth every day and wash their clothes. And
I'm sure they would like that. Again,
I don't mean that in an offensive way. I mean, it is offensive because you should be offended.
I'm just saying nasty, that. I mean, that's like a mental thing that gets done to that. I'm just saying more of like they don't want to feel forced to work.
They don't want to be a slave to society.
Right, and a slave to the system is how a lot of it says. They're slave to a 9 to 5 or a 10 to 8, whatever.
I think most of it's drugs. I don't think the homeless problem was that big of a deal until drugs were coming in aggressively.
Yeah, exactly. I think drugs is a huge problem of it too. That's why I think.
And then obviously mental health is a lot more. You got inbreeding and all that good
targeting
stuff.
Drugs, targeting mental health, and housing costs are like your biggest driving factors right there. Yeah. Is having more options for affordable housing for 2-bedroom houses. They're not asking for luxury. They're just asking for a roof over their head for a
Make some more trailer parks.
Trailer parks, that works. Just anything low cost, the shelter that gives them the basic amenities. They're not asking for chandeliers and
shelters are difficult. I hear there's a lot of like bad to those.
I don't mean homeless shelters. I'm talking about like give them like tiny homes. Like build villages of tiny homes and
build a bunch of tree houses.
And don't target homeless people with that. Just target low cost housing for
build a bunch of tree houses in the woods.
Trust me, like I wouldn't sell those houses to people that are going to use it just to profit, right? Because that's where you get in the same problem where it's like, rental costs increase, blah blah blah.
That's what they need to do with that 3D printing.
It needs to be a government style.
They need to do that with the 3D printing buildings. You seen that?
Yeah.
I was hearing about this dude. But do you believe in like retribution for people like murderers or cannibals or anything like that?
What do you mean?
Like, do you think they can redeem themselves after living a life of that?
Those are very different things. Murder and cannibal. Cannibal, probably not. No, I would say no.
Okay, so there's this dude, and his name's funny as shit. His name's General Butt Naked, and he's a real dude. I swear to God. And I heard about this on a podcast. All right, so he led a tribe of like as young as 9 years old
to eat people,
to like fight. I don't even remember where it's at. They were like his army, and they were called the Butt Naked Brigade.
The Butt Naked Brigade.
I shit you not, this is real. And yeah, he would get him like high and make him watch What's that?
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah, them movies. And tell them that like death is just a ritual of like not being scared of it anymore or something like that. That it's not the end. And he like convinced these kids to fight for him. And they were cannibals.
That's nuts, dude.
But now I think he's in the U.S. as a preacher. And he's went straight. Can he get forgiveness?
No. As a cannibal? No.
Oh, man. Do you know who Tim Dillon is?
If Christianity says that I don't, but Christianity says you can get forgiveness for whatever, right? It's
yeah.
So
the Bible, Christianity.
Right. That's a very tough one. In my opinion, that's like you cross a far line.
Unredeemable.
Yeah.
Do you know who Tim Dillon is?
No.
Oh, well. You should watch him. He's funny as shit. He said he want to have him on the podcast. He said, you know what? He's a good guy.
He's a good guy?
Sure, he ate a couple kids. So what? He's fun. That's what Tim Dillon said.
What the fuck? He's fun because of why?
He's just a funny guy. He's not serious, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
He's funny as shit.
I can't imagine he'd be serious and want to.
He did a bit about Charlie Kirk's wife. He said, I know this woman. She's been all around the world. Huh?
She's banned from 2 countries.
That's funny. He said, I know this woman, and she's been all around the world as an entrepreneur, and she married this very smart intelligence operative, and I don't see. I asked her. I said, "How do you go to work every day after your husband's just been murdered?" And she said, "I do it." I forgot what it is. It's funny as shit. He did a whole. I can't do it. He did a whole bit on Charlie Kirk's wife. It's so funny.
That's hilarious.
Because everybody thinks she's a murderer.
I don't think we want to comment on that too much.
Oh man, I don't have an opinion on it.
We're gonna get on the list.
I don't dislike anybody enough to kill him. That's for damn sure.
I think his death is unfortunate. And
well, no, the joke is about his wife, not him.
Oh, well, yeah. Still, I don't. Again, commenting on that is, I would say his death is unfortunate, and
yeah, nobody should die for their opinion.
They can do their private investigation.
Nobody should die for their opinion, regardless.
No.
Actions are the only thing that deem death. Even that, just depending on the action. Like if you rape a kid, heinous. Yeah, you rape a kid, you're dead. You kill a lady or a man innocent and not trying to hurt you. We should
talk about this stuff because we're gonna get not monetized.
You say that every time, and it's still gonna be
okay. Don't believe me.
I'm gonna turn into General Butt Naked. You gotta look that up. That shit's funny as shit. I was like, there ain't no way that's true. Sure enough.
This sounds like the most dangerous game. They went on the island and got hunted.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I had a couple movies like that.
Yeah, crazy stuff, dude. Maybe that's what you do with a lot of the, the unwilling homeless people that don't want help. You just put them on their own island.
They're going to turn out like General Butt Naked? They're going to be cannibals and fucking armies of fucking kids and shit?
Nah, you give them like some food and stuff, help them out first so they can get established.
We don't even help regular fucking uncivilized people. Why we ain't going to help our own?
Right, yeah.
We don't go anywhere and help anybody that needs it.
Somewhat.
I haven't seen much results. Mainly our country is the one thriving.
Mr. Beast does a lot of good stuff for other countries.
Yeah, individual people do. Yeah, I don't doubt that one bit. I'm talking about our government.
Our government. Most of our money goes into our military.
And that's why we're all happy and free in America, and most places ain't.
Yeah.
A lot of places are, though.
Yeah, China, Russia, a lot of better countries in there. Sweden, Netherlands.
Is Russia even really free?
What?
Is that free country?
That's communism. No, it's not a free country.
But so is China, though, right?
Yeah, it's not a free country either.
But, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. Canada? That's a free country.
Kinda. Closer.
Is Mexico a free country? That's like run by a regime, right? It.
Mexico's that's run by the cartel, by the hundreds of cartel organizations that are there. I don't know who's the biggest per se, but I'm sure there's rivals and stuff like that among them.
It don't matter. All of it's going to change here soon.
The cartel they're badass. That's crazy.
Cartel are crazy motherfuckers. I don't know how they stood up this long.
That's awesome, dude. That's crazy. It's not awesome in a good way. It's just like awesome.
Is the mob still a thing?
They're lawless. Like,
is the mob still a thing? Like, is that still a thing? Like, I know mob stands for mobster, but you remember the mob? The mafia.
The Italian mafia.
Yeah, is that still a thing?
Probably. I mean, maybe on like a secret level, if it was official like that.
Or did they defeat them finally or something?
I don't know.
Because they were kind of like the cartel, right? But they came to like New York and shit.
Yeah. I'm sure the mafia still exists.
Yeah, at least parts of it.
Yeah, like to an extent. The same thing as like the cartels. Like, like they're so big of a organization. There's so many different cartels and
probably all over the world.
In Latin America.
Right, you ain't gonna see them in Korea
for cartel, yeah.
But yeah, AI is gonna change all of it anyway. It's gonna help everything. I'm still betting on it. Well, we're almost done with this year. That means 4 more years.
Of what?
Until AI fixes everything.
That's 3 years.
What?
2030.
Oh yeah, that's right.
3 years at the end of this year until 2030 when all these predictions. But they put predictions for 2000, 2010, 2012. 2021, 2020.
What's your prediction for the election? I think JD.
Somebody's gonna get elected.
I think JD's gonna get it.
There's definitely gonna be somebody elected.
Somebody said we need a Democrat because we need to turn this fucking party like down a little bit. It's been going on too long. Like the whole charade with Trump and everything.
Blah blah blah.
He said we need something that's gonna cool down everybody's jets and stop getting them so anxious.
Blah blah blah. Womp womp womp.
I think we need JD Vance or Mark Rubio.
We need Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Had a dream.
I wish. I don't know how the fuck he wasn't the first black president. He understood people.
It was kind of Barack in a way.
I'm just saying, like, he was like a big figurehead.
Michelle would have been the first man as a first lady.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
That was funny.
That dude that said that on the UFC. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. You choose to say one thing in the White House, and you say a childish
Michelle
thing
Obama's
like that.
man.
Like, you just look like a child.
Nuts, dude.
Like, it's not that it ain't funny, and not that it might not be true. She might have a penis.
Oh, my God.
But that's the wrong place. In front of the president, all the Congress, like.
That's crazy.
You say the most childish thing. You could have been like, I respect my country. I fight for my country or some shit.
So Michelle Obama's the man.
That might have been disrespectful, too, saying you fight for your country and you're just a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
But still, that was the wrong choice.
That'd be a literal sense.
Would you do psychedelics?
Yeah, of course. I want to do DMT.
I've never done any psychedelic.
No, same. But I think DMT would be cool.
I heard DMT, or maybe DMT. You have to look it up.
Or like psilocybin.
Causes like holes in your brain, but not in a way that you think. Not like actual pieces of your brain missing, but you lose activity in certain spots.
That's crazy.
Extensive use.
I could see that. I could see psychedelics fucking with you.
I guess anything in moderacy, you know.
It's everything in moderation.
Yeah, moderation.
Yeah.
I'd do shrooms first. That seems like the safe first start.
Shrooms are like the most natural, but DMT also comes from plants. Like you can get DMT from plants.
They say when you first do it, you feel like you're dead. Like you ask yourself, did I die? Like you
I
can
could
feel
see
yourself
that, especially
in a
with
different
a
place.
psychedelic, dude.
Because like a dream, you don't feel yourself in a separate place. You can just see what it sees, and if you're lucky, you can maybe control a little bit here and there. But when you're hallucinating, I feel like you are on Earth, like present. You fucked with it, it's gonna fall now. Yep. You're gonna have to loosen it, bro. All the way. Fucking bullshit. Cocksucker. Turn your mic down. That was always loud. I'll have to figure out a better solution for those. Get a C-clamp and double clamp that bitch. Because it's the second time. Or go back to the other ones. They work too. Oh, we could have put it on our chair. Maybe. This is a little longer, so.
We're good.
Yeah. But I feel like you're like actually there. Like you feel like we're here right now.
Right.
Like you feel like that inside this hallucination. And that's why I want to try it. It's probably not like a dream.
They say I'm sure you've heard the interviews where they say like DMT, you see the code. We might have even talked about it on here before.
I don't know if I want to do that. That seems weird. That's
DMT?
like some cult looking shit.
Nah, dude, that's not cult. That to me, if that's true,
But you've seen them. They look like cult members when they're doing it.
Again, if it's true and you know that going in, like that these people are weird and you're trying to not experience that, but you do.
Yeah.
That would be crazy, dude.
The problem with psychedelics is you took something to cause this effect. You know it's doing something to your brain. So it's kind of like believing in a god or anything, which I do.
Like a placebo?
Not a placebo, more of a... Sure, you see a code. Sure, you see God and he tells you something miraculous or some shit. Right. But you know when you come out of that, I did something to cause that. That might have just been a hallucination.
Yeah, but you need a key to open a door.
I don't disagree, and I feel like it would be amazing to find out firsthand whether it can make me believe. But they say if you go in with, doubt, it's worse. Like, it's a bad trip.
You can't make wine without grapes, my friend, and water. You see what I'm saying? Like, whatever analogy you want to use.
I'm just saying, you never know for 100% if it's whatever you experienced is meaningful.
If me and you do DMT together, and I don't discuss what I do with you at first, we just do the same trip. Like, we just do a trip together.
And we write it down.
What
we can remember.
And then they match very similarly anyway. What would you believe then?
I'd believe it then. And I know a lot of people do experience the same thing, but yeah, I would trust you.
Yeah, enough. That's me. I had no reason to lie. And you write it down. You don't discuss it.
There's no way to lie.
Right. You just write it down and see if the stories match.
There's places in America you can go and do it too, like a resort.
And that would be that's one thing I'd be willing to do that's like hard drug, I guess, psychedelic.
They should be legal.
It's not really a hard drug. It's just the psychedelic form of it is what alters
JFK is the reason they're not legal.
I would try it. I would definitely try DMT though.
Yeah, like I said, I want to start with something like shrooms though, just to get an idea of what a real hallucination is, because that doesn't take you to another place that we know of. I guess it might.
No, and then I know with shrooms, I've heard you do or grams of it, or I'm sure it's the same thing.
I feel like when you take shrooms, it's more of a distortion. Like everything's distorted. That's what I feel like I'm going to see. And when you look at something colorful, distorted, it's like looking through one of those fucking little glasses.
Like kaleidoscope?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That'd be crazy.
I feel like that's what shrooms is.
But seeing that with just your eyes, though, that would be fucking
Yeah. DMT's different. You go to a different place.
Yeah, that would be nuts. See, and I'm not sure, though.
Scary
there might be some
too.
shrooms that are like that, too, though, because they're different style mushrooms.
Yeah, you hear about the one that looks like an apple, kind of, that was like in Christmas folklore? I think it's, damn, what's the name of that fucking psychedelic that's in them? I forget. It starts with an S, I think. Psilocybin? Psilocybin? Something like that.
Psilocybin?
Psilocybin, yes. It's a psilocybin mushroom, I think. And it's like in folklore, and like Santa Claus's whole thing was when people like hallucinated, they see the elves or whatever, and he would drop mushrooms down chimneys during a freeze over.
The famous mushroom that's like red with the white spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
That's psilocybin.
And you see it in like old like Christmas books. You'll see it next to Santa Claus.
And that's why he sees the elves?
Yeah. And he delivers the mushrooms to like people that got blizzard over.
It's like the kids, instead of getting gifts, you get shrooms. Christmas morning, everybody
I might be butchering it, but yeah, that's about...
Psyched out on some shrooms. Look at the gifts I got. And they ain't got shit. It's just a bag of shrooms.
Yeah. Yeah. You subscribe to this one and watch the next one. We'll be doing DMT.
What the No, we're not.
And mushrooms at the same time.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we're going to be like bonkers in here. No, but I think we have enough for today.
Bye.
Check you next time. Peace.